Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I am back to work on the blue Christmas slash winter lapbook that is mostly folio style. I just saw a video from Miss Etta J. I'll link to it in the description box below of a mass make that she did for Mass Make Monday of some pockets. Very easy to do, a great way to use 12 by 12 paper, especially if it's single sided. So I was thinking of a way that I could incorporate that into the next panel of the lap book. I also did some scoring on one of these full spread pieces. Even though I'm using a lot of silver, I kind of think I'm going to go silver and gold. I did a little gold in the original panel that I did, just a little bit. So I'm just going to go all out with that. So I did some scoring to make this kind of, it's going to be, I don't know how to describe it, but I've scored where I'll have flaps on all four sides. So I have scored this scrapbook paper slash cardstock so that I can have those flaps and keep the main part of this design intact. So we will get to that. I had to do some math to figure out the scoring based on this base. I've made it so that it is a hair smaller than the base when I fold everything up. So I'm going to need to cover the edges. I didn't feel like I need to cover this whole piece because that's wasting paper. Most of it would be covered up. So I went through my washi and I found this one. I also have these two. So I was kind of torn as to what to do, but I think the blue, even though it has that purple reflect to it, I think this might be good. We shall see. This is the third panel. The second panel is the one that has the window that folds down. And then the first one is like the expanding envelope. I'll still be working on all of those in between, back and forth. But I kind of want to move on to this because I actually had an idea of what I wanted to do. In between time, I went back and I got some of my original Tim Holtz tissue paper. This is from back in the day, and I guess I've been hoarding it. It's from 2012. Okay. So I'm going to try and use this before I dig into the other tissue papers that I have. This is how it originally came in this little box, kind of like aluminum foil or plastic wrap, but it's tissue paper. So I tore off a piece and I'm going to put some footage up here. And I did some spraying to color it. I have a spray box and I just experimented with different blue sprays that I have, most of which are clogged, but I did my best to use them. I think I used some Distress Oxide spray. I used a little Tattered Angels and a little Lindy's to achieve this look. That is what I did here, and I just kinda did a big piece in case I need something to cover, the white on the back of a piece of cardstock. I already have some. I also probably will go ahead and make some more of the medical tape, color the tape like I did on the large frame window. I think it's a good idea to use that tape to reinforce folds. So I'll definitely be using some of that here. So I need to make some more. So we'll be doing that to help this dry faster. And this is something I do often. This looks like nothing here. Let me move my mouse. This looks like really nothing, but it's something. I use this to blot up any excess wet spray, and I can use these to make ephemera, envelopes for layering, whatever the case may be. So these are just two mop-up pages, but I will keep those in case I need something. And I can use those for backing papers too. I can add some more stamping to those, lots of different things I can play around with. So those are the things that I did while I was away. Let's go ahead and make these pockets. Let's do that first. And then we'll do the washi. And then I'll decide how I want to put it all together. So I've gone from having no ideas to having quite a few. I just need to, this is 12 by 12. I'm going to cut it in 3 strips of 4 inches. Now I'm going to do my own little play on this and hinge these double pockets onto another piece. These 3 strips will make 3 pockets, 3 double pockets. All right, so it's just gonna work with 1. Now she just folded hers freehand. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to score, and I'm gonna guesstimate this. I'm gonna score at 5 and 10 and an A to give it some room. I hope I'm not making a mistake. So I scored at 5 and 10 and 1/8. You could probably score at 10. But I just want to give it room, the paper room to fold. So this will be a pocket and this will be a pocket. And I'll put a hinge here to hinge this onto whatever I want to hinge it on so that both sides will be visible. And that's an alternative to making it a floating pocket. And I could have made this shorter. I wonder what would happen if I score at 4, would my pocket be too much bigger? I think I like this size. Okay. So then what she did was use her punch. You know me, I got to score, I got to measure. She used her punch to punch the pull for this pocket. So here. And then on this side, on the back, we're going to have a pocket. And I think that's going to be 2.5 and 2.5, slightly larger because it's an extra 1/8 inch. All right. So now I can punch this. And I have lines marked on my punch to know how far down to go. And then I line it up the center little tick mark that I made with this arrow as best as I can. That way, usually I can have consistent thumb pull size. So pocket, you turn it over, you got a pocket over here. This side will be hinged, and I can do the reverse on the next one. Then I would technically glue this down. If you want it to be free floating, you would glue this side here, then glue here and here. I want it to be hinged, so I'm going to have to do a hinge for that, and I'll probably end up just using a scrap for it. Then you can decorate it up. I can go ahead and glue this part. Do I want to ink? Let's just do a little bit. So for instance, you could put a little something in there, not necessarily that, something over here. And again, not necessarily that. Of course, this would be blocked by a hinge. Let me look at my scrap pieces and see what I can use to make said hinge. Okay, so I can use these pieces to make hinges. So I'm going to keep that with that. While we are here, let's go ahead and cover the edge of this. I'm kind of all over the place because I've been thinking of these ideas most of the day and I've been itching to get in here to try. So let's do it. And hopefully this washi tape is not the kind that's got a backing on it. It doesn't. Good. And I put down glue stick just to make sure that that stays. It doesn't come up. Okay. Probably not a good idea to put it on the paper. Let's try it again without the paper. And go ahead and wrap it around when I do it. And let's see just how paper might look up against that. It looks pretty decent. Not too purpley. All right, let's hit the other side. Goes up and then do the other end. Another way to use your washi, not just for planning. Let's try it this way. Probably should have figured this out in the first place. All right, so we got the edges covered. Now for this piece, what I did was determine the size of this, slightly smaller, and then I subtracted that from the 12 inches and divided what was left by 2. I did that for the width and for the height. It's fairly simple once you get the hang of it. Just determine your width, determine your height, subtract it from 12, and whatever the result is, divide it by 2, and that's where you score. I think it was 3 1/4 on the sides, and I needed to score at 1 3/4 top and bottom. So now I am just going to cut out all 4 corners because I don't think I need them. I wonder if I just folded them over and glued them down, how that might work. Let's try it. Or is that going to work? That won't give me room for a gusset if I do that, so maybe not. If I didn't need a gusset, I could probably get away with it. So now I can just fold those pieces over like so. So I'll make a gusset here, um, glue something on this side, glue something on this side. I think I'm going to leave that as it is. I'll probably make a small gusset here on these two, probably like 1/4 of an inch maybe, or 3/8 of an inch. And then this will reside on top of this, like so. Let's fold everything in. So it'll be like this. See how it just barely peeks out the color? You just see a little teeny bit, but it's covered without using a whole piece of scrapbook paper to cover that. So now I need to figure out my gussets. I think I'm going to do similar to the other gussets, a quarter of an inch to possibly 3/8 of an inch. So this is 1 3/4. So let's go back. That's 3/8 of an inch. I'm just reinforcing the original fold and then going back 1 2 3/8 of an inch. So depending on how much I fill up this little space, I'll have extra room and it won't just be bulging. The gusset will give it a little more room to grow. So say I want to put a journal or something in here, a notebook. Thought I had one close at hand, but I don't. But yeah, it would just fit down in there pretty nicely. Let's try this. So for instance, this is too long, but see how it gives room for something of that thickness. If it was just flat like this and I try to put something in there, it's just gonna kind of bulge, but having the score gives it some room. And then I'll of course reinforce all of that with my DIY color tape. So now we just need to tape and cover these portions. And let me see. Is my little baggie long enough for the tape? Or should I use, I think I better get some wax paper for that. Start on that, and then I'll be back. So the base is ready to be glued down. Not sure I want to glue it yet though. I want to leave it, I think, so that I can manipulate it more if I need to. I just want to give an update and show this new pocket situation. Um, did I take the other piece out? So in the meantime, I'll cut my hinges and probably fold a couple more pockets. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Again, I'll link to the video in the description box below. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and you may be interested in this other video. Thanks for watching and I'll talk to you later. Bye.